The journey begins with struggle. Perseverance through study and effort leads to triumph and fulfillment.
Everyone talks about success. The cars, the money, the fame, the lifestyle. But almost nobody talks about the ugly part of success. Failure. Because failure is uncomfortable. Failure is embarrassing. Failure hurts your ego. Failure makes you question yourself. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. If you've never failed, you've never really tried. Every successful person you admire today has failed more times than you can imagine. You just didn't see those moments. You only saw the highlight reel, the wins, the applause, the success story. But behind every overnight success, there are years of rejection, years of doubt, years of mistakes, years of being told, "You're not good enough." Let me tell you something powerful. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. Think about a baby learning how to walk. The baby falls again and again and again, but the baby never says, "Maybe walking isn't for me." The baby doesn't feel embarrassed. The baby doesn't quit. The baby doesn't overthink. The baby falls, learns, and tries again. That's how progress works. But somewhere along the way, as adults, we forget this simple truth. We start connecting failure with shame. We start believing failure means we're not good enough. We start quitting when things get hard. And that's exactly why most people never reach their full potential. Because they quit at the first sign of failure. Here's the brutal reality. If you're chasing something big, a dream, a business, a better body, a better life, you will fail. Not once, not twice, many times. You will fail in public. You will fail in private. You will fail when people are watching. You will fail when people are judging. And some people will laugh at you. Some people will doubt you. Some people will tell you to be realistic. But none of those people are living your dream. They're living their comfort zone. Failure is painful, yes, but regret is far more painful. Imagine being 70 years old, sitting alone, thinking, "I had dreams, but I was too scared to fail." That pain lasts forever. Failure, on the other hand, is temporary. It teaches you. It shapes you. It prepares you. You don't learn discipline from success. You learn it from failing and getting back up. You don't build confidence from winning once. You build confidence from losing, surviving, and trying again. You don't develop strength when life is easy. You develop strength when life is hard. Failure forces you to grow. It shows you your weaknesses. It exposes your blind spots. It teaches you what doesn't work. And most importantly, it shows you how bad you really want it. A lot of people say they want success, but they don't want the pain that comes before success. They want the reward without the struggle. They want the destination without the journey. They want the trophy without the training. But life doesn't work like that. You don't become strong without struggle. You don't become skilled without mistakes. You don't become confident without facing fear. Failure is the training ground for success. Every failure upgrades you. If you let it, the problem is not failure. The problem is quitting. Most people fail, then stop. Winners fail, then learn. There's a big difference. One failure doesn't define you. 10 failures don't define you. What defines you is what you do after failure. Do you blame the world? Do you blame people? Do you blame luck? Or do you take responsibility, adjust, and try again? That choice decides your future. Failure is feedback. It's life telling you, "Not this way. Try another way." Every failed attempt brings you closer to the right strategy. You don't hit the target by giving up after first miss. You hit the target by adjusting your aim. And here's something most people don't realize. Success without failure is dangerous. Because if you succeed without struggling, you don't develop the character to handle success. You become fragile. You become arrogant. You break easily when challenges come. But when you fail, suffer, fall, and rise again, you become unbreakable. You stop fearing opinions. You stop fearing rejection. You stop fearing embarrassment because you've already survived worse. You stop asking, "What if I fail?" And you start asking, "What if I don't even try?" Failure builds emotional muscle. It builds mental toughness. It builds discipline. Every time you get back up, you train your mind to believe, I can handle this. And that belief is powerful because once you believe you can handle failure, you become unstoppable. You stop playing small. You stop playing safe. You start playing to win. People who avoid failure live small lives. They choose safety over growth, comfort over progress, familiar pain over unknown possibility. But greatness lives on the other side of fear. And fear is nothing but imagination of failure. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not afraid of failure. You're afraid of how failure will make you look. You're afraid of people laughing. You're afraid of judgment. You're afraid of being seen as not enough. But people will judge you no matter what. If you try and fail, they judge you. If you never try, they judge you. If you succeed, they judge you. So you might as well build the life you want. Because, at the end of the day, the pain of discipline is lighter than the pain of regret. Failure is proof that you're in the game. Failure is proof that you're trying. Failure is proof that you're moving forward. If you're failing right now, you're not behind. You're in training. And training is where champions are made. This is the beginning of your transformation. This is where your mindset shifts. This is where you stop seeing failure as a wall and start seeing it as a door to growth, a door to strength, a door to the life you've been dreaming about. And the only way through that door is to keep walking. Let's be real for a moment. Most people don't fail because they're not talented. They fail because they quit too early. They quit when progress feels slow. They quit when results don't come fast. They quit when effort isn't immediately rewarded. But success doesn't work on your timeline. It works on discipline. You plant a seed today. You don't get a tree tomorrow. You water it daily. You protect it from storms. You wait. You trust the process. Failure is part of that process. Every time you fail, you're being tested, not to see if you're capable, but to see if you're committed, because commitment is what separates dreamers from doers. Anyone can feel motivated for one day. Anyone can feel inspired after watching a video. But very few people stay consistent when motivation disappears. And motivation always disappears. That's when failure hits hardest. That's when doubt becomes loud. That's when quitting starts to feel logical. Your mind will give you excuses. You've tried enough. Maybe this isn't your path. Other people are just luckier. You're wasting your time. But your future self is watching you in that moment. Your future self is begging you not to quit. Because your future self knows what's on the other side of consistency. You don't become strong by winning once. You become strong by losing and still showing up. You don't build self-respect by quitting. You build self-respect by keeping your word to yourself. And self-respect changes everything. When you respect yourself, you stop settling. You stop making excuses. You stop choosing comfort over growth. Failure forces you to confront yourself. It shows you where you're weak. It shows you where you're undisciplined. It shows you where you're lying to yourself. And that honesty is uncomfortable. But it's necessary because you can't improve what you're unwilling to face. Most people are running from their failures. They distract themselves. They numb themselves. They pretend everything is fine. But the people who win, they study their failures. They ask hard questions. What did I do wrong? What can I do better next time? Where did I lack effort? Where did I lack patience? And then they fix it. Failure becomes their teacher. Pain becomes their coach. Struggle becomes their training partner. And slowly, quietly, they become dangerous. Not loud, not arrogant, not flashy, but disciplined, focused, unshakable. That's how real winners are built. Here's another truth. You're not failing because you're bad. You're failing because you're learning. Learning is messy. Learning is uncomfortable. Learning is full of mistakes. If you're comfortable all the time, you're not growing. Growth demands discomfort. Growth demands sacrifice. Growth demands patience. And failure is the price of growth. Every skill you admire today was built on thousands of mistakes. Every confident person you see today was once insecure. Every successful entrepreneur has a graveyard of failed ideas behind them. You just don't see the graveyard. You see the victory. But behind every victory, there's a story of pain that most people never hear. The difference is simple. They didn't stop. They didn't let failure define them. They let failure refine them. And refinement takes time. You don't become your best version overnight. You become it by choosing effort over excuses every day. And some days, you will fail. You will miss your workout. You will break your routine. You will lose focus. You will feel lazy. You will doubt yourself. That doesn't make you weak. That makes you human. What makes you strong is what you do after that moment. Do you say, I'm messed up, so I might as well quit? Or do you say, I'm messed up, but I'm not done? That one sentence changes your life. Progress is not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Consistency beats motivation. Discipline beats talent. Patience beats luck. And failure builds all three. Every time you get back up, you prove to yourself that you're capable of more than comfort. And that proof builds confidence. Not fake confidence. Not loud confidence. Quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't need validation. The kind that doesn't need applause. The kind that knows, I've been through worse. I'll survive this too. That's power. And once you taste that power, you stop fearing failure. You start using it. You stop asking life for easy roads. You start building strong legs. Because easy roads don't build strong people. Hard roads do. And one day, you'll look back at the failures that almost broke you and realize they were the moments that built you. Not because they felt good, but because you refused to quit. If you're struggling right now, if you're failing right now, if you feel stuck right now, this is not the end. This is a training phase. Stay in the fight. Your breakthrough is closer than your doubts want you to believe. At some point, you have to understand this. Failure is not personal. Life is not attacking you. The universe is not against you. You're just in the process. And processes are messy. Everyone wants the result, but nobody wants the process. Because the process is slow. The process is boring. The process is painful. The process is waking up when you don't feel like it. The process is showing up when no one is watching. The process is working when results are invisible. And failure lives inside the process. Failure is the space between who you are and who you're trying to become. If you never fail, it means you're never pushing beyond your limits. Comfort doesn't create growth. Comfort creates stagnation. Growth lives where your comfort ends. And that's exactly why failure feels uncomfortable, because it means you're growing. Here's something nobody warns you about. The journey will get lonely when you start chasing something bigger. Your circle gets smaller, not because people hate you, but because not everyone understands growth. Some people want to stay the same. Some people are afraid of change. Some people feel threatened when you try to improve. So they'll question you. They'll doubt you. They'll tell you to relax. They'll tell you not to take life too seriously. They'll tell you to enjoy comfort. But comfort is a slow death to your potential. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need you. Belief is built through action. Confidence is built through keeping promises to yourself. Every time you say you'll do something and actually do it, you strengthen your self-trust. And self-trust is what carries you through failure. When you trust yourself, failure doesn't break you. It redirects you. You stop seeing obstacles as stop signs. You start seeing them as detours. A detour doesn't mean the destination is gone. It just means the route needs to change. But most people quit at the detour. They see one closed road and assume the whole journey is over. But the people who make it, they find another way. They adapt. They adjust. They stay in motion. Motion is powerful. You don't need perfect clarity to move forward. You need courage to take the next step. And courage grows from surviving failure. Every time you face disappointment and keep going, you build emotional armor. Not the kind that makes you cold, the kind that makes you resilient. Resilience is not about never falling. It's about falling and refusing to stay down. And refusing to stay down is a decision. No one can make that decision for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your mentors, not your favorite motivational speaker. You choose whether failure becomes your excuse or your fuel, and fuel changes everything. When failure becomes fuel, your pain gets purpose, your struggle gets meaning, your losses become lessons. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this teaching me? That shift changes your mindset, and mindset changes your results. Most people want new results without a new mindset, but results are the reflection of your thinking. If you see failure as a sign to quit, you'll quit. If you see failure as a sign to grow, you'll grow. Your perspective decides your progress. Here's another hard truth. You won't always feel strong. Some days you'll feel tired. Some days you'll feel unmotivated. Some days you'll feel like you're moving backward. That's normal. What's not normal is letting those feelings control your actions. Strong people are not people who feel strong all the time. Strong people are people who act strong, even when they feel weak. They show up anyway. They try anyway. They stay consistent anyway. That's discipline. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Failure trains discipline because failure tests your commitment. When things go wrong, discipline is what keeps you moving, not motivation, not excitement, not hype, just discipline. And discipline is built in silence. No applause, no recognition, no spotlight, just you versus your excuses. That's where real change happens. You don't become extraordinary in public. You become extraordinary in private. When nobody is watching, when nobody is clapping, when nobody is praising, just you doing the work again and again and failing again and again, but refusing to stop. That's how momentum is created. Momentum is not created by one big win. Momentum is created by small wins stacked daily. And small wins often come after small failures. You try, you fail, you adjust, you try again. That cycle builds progress. Break the cycle by quitting, and you break your progress. Stay in the cycle, and growth becomes inevitable. You don't need to be fearless. You need to be brave enough to act despite fear. Fear doesn't disappear. You outgrow it, and you outgrow it by walking through failure, not around it. One day, you'll look back and realize the moments you wanted to quit the most were the moments that mattered the most, because that's where your character was built. That's where your limits were expanded. That's where your story changed direction. So if life feels heavy right now, if progress feels slow right now, if failure feels personal right now, it's not personal. It's preparation. And preparation always comes before performance. Stay in the process. Your future self is counting on you. At the end of the day, this journey is personal. No one feels your fear the way you do. No one carries your doubts. No one hears your negative thoughts at 2 a.m. No one knows how heavy your dreams feel inside your chest. So stop waiting for people to understand you. They don't have to. Your responsibility is not to impress the world. Your responsibility is to become who you know you can be. And that version of you is built through failure, not through comfort, not through approval, not through easy wins, through struggle, through mistakes, through getting back up when it would be easier to stay down. Failure humbles you. It strips away your ego. It forces you to face yourself. And in that quiet space, you either break or you build. You build patience. You build courage. You build character. Character is what carries you when motivation disappears. Character is what keeps you standing when confidence fades. Character is what keeps you moving when the results are invisible. Your results will change. Your emotions will change. Your circumstances will change. But your character will stay with you forever. And your character is shaped by how you respond to failure. Every time life knocks you down, you're being asked a simple question. Are you done? Or are you learning? Are you finished? Or are you getting stronger? You don't need to win today. You just need to not quit today. Progress is quiet. Growth is slow. Transformation is invisible until one day it isn't. One day, people will see the strength they never noticed before. One day, they'll call you lucky. One day, they'll say you're gifted. One day, they'll think it was easy for you. And you'll smile quietly because you'll remember the nights you wanted to give up. You'll remember the moments you felt weak. You'll remember the failures that almost convinced you to stop. And you didn't stop, not because it was easy, but because your dream was heavier than your excuses. This is your reminder. You don't rise by avoiding failure. You rise by surviving it. You don't become strong by having an easy life. You become strong by refusing to let a hard life break you. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not failing at life. You are in the process of becoming. And becoming is uncomfortable. But everything worth becoming requires discomfort. So the next time you fail, don't collapse into self-hate. Don't disappear into excuses. Don't run back to comfort. Stand up, breathe, adjust your aim, and take the next step, because every step you take after failure is a step closer to the life you deserve. And one day, when you finally reach that version of yourself you once dreamed about, you won't thank comfort. You won't thank ease. You won't thank luck. You'll thank every failure that didn't break you, but built you. And that's the truth about success. It's not built on winning. It's built on not quitting.